What song or album would you say has been your favorite growing up?
My favorite song growing up was I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. It definitely was inspiring at the time because it just made me think about making the most of the present moment. And I think that message is really important now, actually, now that we have social media and we're always on our phones.
When I was 2 years old, my favorite song was Bye 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 by NSYNC. I don't know, it was on TV and I heard it and couldn't stop singing it. My mom recorded me a lot singing Bye 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 as a 2-year-old.
I would say my favorite song growing up was Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder. Elaborating on that a little bit more, Songs in the Key of Life is just like my all-time favorite album. I have it framed in my bedroom currently, but yeah, love Stevie Wonder, love his music, really speaks to my soul, and it just makes me really happy.
Favorite song has to be Through the Wire by Kanye West. And my favorite album growing up gotta be Thank Me Later by Drake. It's making a big impact in my life right now because I'm using some of those beats to make my songs.
My favorite song growing up, I would probably have to say, is Collard Greens by Schoolboy Q. In high school, I would listen to the album, the Oxymoron album, like every single day on my way to school. I feel like that was kind of like my first introduction to rap. Like, he was one of the first rappers that I really got into, and yeah.
My favorite song, Akon's Soul Survivor. That was my first impression of rap. And that shit changed my life, honestly. My favorite album, I say Damn, Kendrick Lamar, for sure.
I would say I Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas. Yeah, thanks. I just remember hearing that like on the radio for the first time when I left home and I like went to the mainland and I went on a trip and I was like, this is gonna be such a great night. And every single time I hear that song, I think of that moment.
I have a couple favorite songs, but I think the one that really resembles me is Maps by Maroon 5. I remember doing like road trips with my friends back when I was like before high school ended, and we always blast that song on the highway. And like that's just one song that always stuck with me, and I can like listen to it no matter how many times it's played.
I'd say a song is difficult to pick, but an album that was really impactful for me was probably Midnight Memories by One Direction growing up. They were a band that really allowed me to make a lot of friends, and the album was there for me at a time where growing up I really needed it, I guess.
So I'd say my favorite song growing up was probably In the End by Linkin Park. So me and my brother introduced it to me. I remember he got this new iPod and it was one of the first songs that he installed on it, so that I listened to it, and it really, me and him used to listen together, and it really brought us closer together. And additionally, so I'm from Singapore, and the Linkin Park actually visited Singapore like I think in like 2008 or 2009, and I actually got to see them perform live. So that seeing them perform the song that I grew up watching, listening to with my brother really brought us even closer.
I'm gonna go with Payphone by Maroon 5. I just remember watching the music video a lot, and it was like pretty poppin' in like the 2010s, and I just really enjoyed it. And Maroon 5 was like, they were cool, and I enjoyed Payphone.
I would say my favorite song growing up was Sweet Darlin' by the artist named Fiji. I really grew up listening to a lot of reggae back home because I'm from Hawaii, and Fiji was always just a really big artist back home. He's this Fijian, like Polynesian reggae type of artist, and he always just makes really great music to vibe to at family parties, so I feel like that's really stuck with me.
I'll let you take it first, so you go ahead.
All right, for sure. I was thinking for a bit, probably one of my favorite songs, or like a song that really emotionally impacted me growing up, was Space Oddity by David Bowie.
That's a good one.
Like that song, my mom was really into David Bowie, so she would play that all the time. And honestly, I think that's one of the first songs that like actually made me cry just from like the song itself. Yeah, honestly, no, it's probably one of my favorite songs from being a kid. So.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad you touched on the emotional part. For me personally, shout out to my dad. Like, he's the one who like pretty much started like he put me onto all my music pretty much growing up. For me, it would be Midnight Marauders by Tribe Called Quest. That whole album, like top to bottom, no skips in my opinion. I mean, my dad used to bump it all the time.